I see what you're getting at. I mean, philosophers are human beings, just like poets and musicians and carpenters. And as such, they're motivated by sexual feeling. The real question is, to what extent does that sexual feeling enter their philosophy, as it clearly enters the poetry of a poet or the music of a musician? And I think this is an interesting question. Sexual feeling is inherently lyrical, and so lends itself to artistic expression, but it's not inherently philosophical. So there is something odd about thinking that it enters into the philosophical way of thinking at all. And of course, in the past, there were not many women philosophers. But in my replies to Plato, which are called Xanthippik dialogues, I invent those women philosophers because I was conscious of the fact that the feminine as such is absent from most of the Platonic dialogues, and it ought to be put back. But, you know, so, of course, Plato was homosexual, and there was no evidence that he really wanted those women back, would have wanted those women in his dialogues anyway. But anyway, that's a thought. Maybe one should be thinking more about how to put the feminine back into philosophy. Many of our leading philosophers today in the academic world are women. In America, you've got people like Martha Nussbaum, who've made quite a reputation for themselves, Christine Korsgaard and so on, very much in the academic mould, but still no more academic than the men. So perhaps we're now moving into a more gender-free kind of philosophy anyway.